Good morning, sports fans, and welcome to the final edition of the season of Sports Memo and Wager Talk Show Family Affair. We have made sports betting history this past season. Never before on any panel has there been 4 family members. I was honored to share the panel with the First Lady of Las Vegas, Dionne D'Amico, Jeff Michaels, and Ralph Michaels. Let me do some individual good mornings. Good morning, Dionne. How are you today?
Good morning. Happy Friday to everybody.
Good morning, Jeff Michaels.
Good morning. Glad to be back for one more Friday show with you guys.
Absolutely. Good morning to my good friend Ralph. I got a chance to see Ralph the other night. We hung out, watched the game. How are you today, Ralph?
Great. It was great seeing you guys. Buster was in from out of town, so it's always good to get the group together at our local little pub. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in this year. It's been great success. Thank you for all the positive feedback and negative feedback. We don't mind criticism. It helps us become better as we move on down the road. So thanks for joining this season number 1 of the Family Affairs Show.
Thank you, Ralph. Sports fans, we have a lot in store for you today. We're not just going to sign off and let you go quietly into the good night. We have our 4-team Underdog Moneyline Parlay, then our Best Bet segment. But first, guys, a couple of quick announcements. Hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss any of the Sports Melon TV's amazing content starting next Friday. The first family show, the longest running show on the brand, will resume. And I think you'll see our good buddy Ralph Michaels maybe making some cameos over there. We have some great guests already lined up. A couple of discounts I want to make you aware of. Over at Sports Memo and Wager Talk, we know that saving you money just as good as making you money. And we have the best customer appreciation discounts in the business. A couple I want to make you aware of. Then we're going to get into our Underdog Moneyline Parlay, then our best bets. First of all, we have a $50 off all 30-day passes, NBA, NFL, college basketball, college football, NHL, soccer, and all access passes. It can be used multiple times on your favorite capper or cappers. So just use code SPORT50 upon checkout. Now, guys, you know what time of the year it is. I'm going to be talking about this very shortly. It is the bowl season, and you come bowling with your favorite capper or cappers. $149 all access college bowl, no code necessary. And, guys, I've got to tell you, I'm pretty proud of this. The hottest capper on the planet is a D'Amico. And no, it's not Joe D'Amico. It is Miss Dionne D'Amico. She is on the NFL leaderboard, the NBA leaderboard, the NHL leaderboard, and the NCAA basketball leaderboard. As a matter of fact, she is killing it, not just a 3-day or a 7-day, but the 30-day. She is killing it in 4 major sports, but she's melting the ice. She's so hot in hockey. So the good folks over at Sports Memo have a very special discount, so you can follow Dionne right through the Stanley Cup Finals. Follow her from today straight through the Stanley Cup Finals, $200 off. Use code Dionne200 upon checkout to guarantee yourself a very profitable NHL campaign. Now, guys, without any other further ado, we're going to start off with a very popular Underdog Moneyline Parlay. Let's start off with our good friend Ralph Michaels. Ralph, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm going to the NFL, and the season turns to December. So when I have a better defensive team on the road that rushes the ball better, they're always going to be in my sight lines. It's the New York Jets. And Minnesota, one of the most misleading teams of the year. Look at the Jets stat profile. Their defense is legit. In fact, on the season, they are number 2, holding their opponents to 46 yards per game, under what they normally average. Year-to-date yards per game diff, the New York Jets, number 12, plus 17 yards per game. This Minnesota team, despite their record, is number 26. They are getting outgained by 50.6 yards per game. That is a team that should have 5 losses at this point. There are only 2 losses to Dallas and Philadelphia. And then I look over the last 4 weeks. This Minnesota team on defense is allowing 70% completions. They're only rushing for 3.7. They're allowing 4.6. The Jets we'll see how Mike White does as the quarterback. But we saw week number 1 sure looked good against Chicago. No problems backing them on the road. Simply a defensive dog that rushes the ball better, a must look for me in any time we're in December.
Great stuff from Ralph Michaels. Great breakdown. He says the New York Jets plus $1.35. That's his money line underdog play for today. Let's keep this train rolling. Dionne D'Amico, underdog money line play. Take it away.
Thank you, Joe. Coming into a conference title game with momentum means a lot. Ohio enters the MAC championship, winning their last 7 outings straight up and covering 8 in a row. While Toronto is a good team, as the season went on, they started to struggle. They have lost their last 2 outings straight up and haven't covered since mid-October, riding an 0-5 no cover streak. If you're concerned about starting Bobcats quarterback Rourke being sidelined for this matchup, don't be. His backup Harris may not have the amount of experience that Rourke has, but he is very capable of taking over the reins. Not just that, but he is surrounded by outstanding athletes. To ease his strain in the air, he has 4 amazing wideouts, and to take the pressure off him altogether, he has one of the best running backs in the MAC in Bangura, who has accumulated nearly 1,100 all-purpose yards and 13 TDs. Defensively, Ohio is extremely tough, holding each of their opponents since the beginning of October to an average of 18 points per game. The Bobcats are 16-5 ATS the last 21 versus conference opponents and 8-3 ATS the last 11 on neutral sites. I feel the wrong team is favored here, and that's why Ohio is my choice for this week's Underdog Moneyline play.
The First Lady of Las Vegas, the hottest capper on the planet, says, "Rawr, take them Bobcats." Love it. Let's keep this train rolling. My good friend Jeff Michaels, tell us your Underdog Moneyline parlay, please.
Yeah, guys, I'm going back to Sunday. I'm looking at this Miami Dolphins team. You know, my dad mentioned looking at stats in December, and we get into a crucial time here. I actually found a trend that definitely supports this Dolphins team. In the month of December, a team that is off a game that they covered as a double-digit favorite, 24-8 against the spread, but they're 26-6 straight up back to week 14 of 2017, and they're 20-3 in the last 23 opportunities. So a team that's a double-digit favorite isn't normally coming in, you know, into a close game like this in another one, but you know, this San Francisco defense has been impressive. There's really no denying that. But I was looking at strength of schedule for San Francisco, which is something that's a little more concerning. They haven't played the hardest of schedules this season. And in their last 4 games, they are on a 4-game winning streak, but they've played the likes of both the LA teams, Arizona, and New Orleans, with the Chargers being the best offense, rating 14th in yards per game and 13th in scoring. But, you know, they haven't played top-tier offenses that this defense is shutting down. None of them really that compare to this Miami team that has been so explosive on offense. But I was looking at 2 splits too for Miami, 7-1 straight up this season on games played on grass, and they're just 3-2 on the road this season. But the Dolphins are 3-0 straight up on the road in games started and finished by Tua at quarterback. So another one you got Tua playing in. I think San Fran's in for a test against a better defense or a better offense, than they've seen in the last couple of weeks. So I like Tua and the Dolphins to get the win in this one.
Great stuff from Jeff Michaels. What we've come to expect from him. Great breakdown. He says the Miami Dolphins plus the 170 gets you the money. Joe D is going to be the caboose today. My friends, you know, sports betting isn't about who wins. It's about who covers. And right now, no team is running as hot. I made a mistake, guys. Yep. I'm sorry about that, guys. I made a mistake on that. My apologies. It happens. Brings a little spice to the show. Okay, my friends. I apologize about that. No, let me try that again. Sports fans, 2 teams that have done very, very well with this NFL season has been the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. I've made money running both of them this entire season. I know these 2 teams well. This week, they play for the first of 2 matchups over the next several weeks. Yes, these 2 teams know each other quite well because they both share the NFC East. And yes, both teams still have a chance at the division. Washington enters this matchup winning and covering 3 straight and 6 of the last 7. Meanwhile, New York has a bit of a rough patch. They dropped their last 2 in a row straight up. I feel the Commanders are playing a little bit above themselves right now, and I do feel they're in for a major letdown situation here. Meanwhile, I feel the Giants have had a couple of tough breaks over the last few weeks and are due for a big bounce back in this matchup. While both situations benefit New York for sure, Saquon Barkley, I feel he's one of the most valuable players to his team in the league and one of the most dependable running backs in the NFL today. He has been very quiet during the 2-game slide that the Giants have endured the last few weeks. You can look for him to get going here this week and control the tempo and the pace of this matchup. This will allow quarterback Daniel Jones to do what, my friends? To continue with his success against Washington. Guys, this is the team that he has had the most success in his short tenure in the NFL. He has had twice as many wins as a starter against this team than any other team. His 9 touchdown passes against the Commanders are 4 more than he has against any other opponent. He's done well against Washington as a quarterback in the NFL. And this is the major reason why the New York Giants are my choice for this week's Underdog Moneyline Parlay. Let me bring everybody back on and go right through it again, guys. Just to run it down, Ralph Michael says the New York Jets plus 135. Dionne D'Amico says the Ohio Bobcats plus 130. Jeff said the Miami Dolphins plus 170. And Joe D says the New York Giants plus 115. My friends, a $100 wager on this will bring you back $3,037.60. That ain't nothing to sneeze about. And I'm putting a couple of hundred on this one myself because I know we're going to hit this one this week. Don't go anywhere, guys. We have our best bet segment. We're going to keep this rolling. You know, Ralph Michaels, I talk about him regularly, even when I'm not sharing a panel with him. You know, because numbers don't lie. And I always talk, you do something once, you do it twice, you're lucky. Do it for decades. There's very few in this business that has won consistently for decades, and numbers are like Ralph Michaels is one of the rare few. You can find all of his big winning information over at Wages Talk. He's going to tell you what he's been doing, what you can expect from him on the premium side, and he's got a free best bet for you. Ralph, the floor is yours.
Well, if you jumped on board with me yesterday for the first time this season, I apologize. Off an 0-3 day. And those are going to happen, and there's no reason to hide behind them. The integrity of the cappers at Wager Talk and Sports Memo. In fact, I put that 0-3 day in my promo. I do have a nice 4-game package up for this evening. $19. You're going to get 2 college basketball, 1 NHL, and 1 NBA. But more importantly, my NFL season this year, number 1, hitting over 70%. I've cashed 5 straight football 5% plays. I have a 5% play loaded in the NFL. And if you want to try me for 30 days, use coupon DEC100 for December 100. DEC100 will get you 30 days, all sports for $199. I'm going to go to a Friday night game. We normally didn't use Friday night games during the season, but with the limited college card, I wanted to go the total in the game at Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas, the Pac-12 championship. And USC, Utah, yes, the total is high at 67, but I don't think it's high enough. There's many times that bookmakers don't have to make a number as high as it should be because they're going to get enough public money to offset the over money. In the first game, 43-42, we saw Utah win that game. And this USC defense is horrific. Yes, the offense is great, and Caleb Williams very well may win the Heisman, and he deserves it. 3,700 yards, a 34-3 ratio. But this defense is number 76. They're actually allowing their opponents more yards than they gain on the season. You look at the Utah defense, they are number 12 in the country on the season, holding foes to 81 yards per game under their average. And who benefits from the second game? I think the Utah team can clearly benefit. I think their defense can benefit from having seen Caleb Williams more than the USC offense can benefit from seeing the Utah defense the second time. Lean Utah in the game, but my best bet play here is on the over.
Great stuff from Ralph Michaels. He said over at the game at Allegiant Stadium. Ralph, will you be attending the game?
You know what? I've had a couple people reach out, and since it's a 5 o'clock start, it's still in the mix. You know, those 8 o'clock starts or crazy late starts are way too late for an old guy like me. But, you know, in that 5 o'clock range, there's a possibility I show up there. So I'll be tweeting out if I do, and if anyone's at the game and I'm there, hit me up on Twitter, and I'm happy to buy you a beer.
And I got to tell you, Ralph is always good to buy anybody a beer. Guys, go follow Ralph over at Wage Talk after the show. He is a winner, and you will be too if you follow him. Numbers don't lie. And doing it for as long as Ralph's been doing it and doing it successfully, there's only a few in the game. He's one of the best. Let's keep the train rolling. Let's go to my good friend, Jeff Michaels. Jeff is doing some great work over at Sports Memo. He's on multiple sports leaderboards. And I got to tell you, he's so in demand. He's doing so much content for Sports Memo and Wager Talk TV. But that's the price you pay when you're winning as much as Jeff is. And if you don't believe me, numbers don't lie. You go over to Sports Memo after the show. He's an ideal capper to follow with one of these all sports discounts. I'm going to tell you right now because he is winning on quite a few sports. He's the winner. He's going to tell you what he's been doing, what he's going to be doing, and he's got another free best bet for you. Jeff, take it away.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, guys, let me tell you, my dad's not kidding. He moved back across to the West Coast because he couldn't stay up and watch those late college basketball games. So he made a whole life move over there so we could stay up and watch the late ones. So 5 o'clock is about as late as it gets, right, Dad? But yeah, guys, another winning day yesterday. We did split in NHL, but we won the top play with a big one, lost the Vancouver game, but that was a good offensive effort by Florida there. But, it's always fun when we disagree a little bit on the show. I'm not disagreeing with my dad's total play. I do think it's probably headed in that direction, but I'm talking the side in that one, and I'm looking at USC in this game. You think revenge game. Well, USC says double revenge. First of all, everybody's thinking about the loss this season, but Utah beat them last year as well. So this USC team has dropped 2 straight games against Utah now. And the last game, this most recent one, was the only game of the season that they were an underdog. But Utah's only been an underdog once into this game as well. And they lost that one outright against Oregon and failed to cover the spread. So both these teams are 0-1 straight up and against the spread as an underdog. And this will be Utah's second time of the season. But, an interesting trend that I did find, a lot of people, you like things that happen frequently so we can tell that they're consistent. Well, this kind of goes to show you how often this situation happens. I still think it is a convincing one, though. Back to 1997, this is actually just the 14th time that a team has only lost one game and had the opportunity to get revenge on that game in the same season. So the fact that USC has one loss on the year and only one loss, and now they're coming back to face this Utah team, is definitely a big one. They're 9-4-1 ATS in those 14 games, but that team's 5-1-1 against the spread over the last 7, which includes 4 over the last 2 years and the national championship game last year, where that losing team in the first matchup came back to win the second one and cover. So, both these teams aren't accustomed to being underdogs, and I think Caleb Williams has a lot to play for in this game. After Ohio State's debacle last week, Caleb Williams is, in my opinion, probably the front runner for the Heisman at this point, as again my dad mentioned. But, no offense. There's only been one offense this year that has thrown for over 300 yards against Utah, and that was this USC team when Caleb Williams put up 381 yards. So not only did he surpass that 300, he almost hit 400 and threw 5 touchdowns without an interception in that game as well. Since that loss, USC's won 5 straight games, including that impressive one against Notre Dame. And they're averaging over 42 points of offense on the season, but they're putting up 47 in just the last 3 weeks. And over that span, they faced that Notre Dame team that I mentioned, and they've also faced a top UCLA team. So played a pretty good schedule to close out the year. Both the teams are 5-4 against the spread in conference play, but USC has the edge, and I know that the second time you're usually looking at the opposite. I think USC has a big game in this one and makes a push for that national championship potentially.
Great stuff from Jeff Michaels. What we come to expect from him, one of the brightest minds in sports betting today, as entertaining as he is informative, and he is a winner. Go follow Jeff over at Sports Memo. After the show, you're going to follow him to the bank. And like I said, one of the best cappers to follow in those all sports inclusive discounts, best customer appreciation discounts on the planet. Sports Memo and Wager Talk. I'm going to bat third during this best bet segment, my friends. I'm going to see if I can get this one right. Guys, sports fans, there isn't a leaderboard at Sports Memo that currently doesn't have Joe D'Amico's name on it. This past weekend, I won another 10% release. As you know, 18-3 in 2022 with my 10% release. I come off a sweep of college basketball last night. My NBA has been crushing it since the opening day of the season. My college football big games unrivaled. Speaking of college football, every championship weekend and bowl season, I make you money. Over the years, 17 years I've been documented during the championship weekend and bowl seasons, and I've done as well as 90% or better on my releases for that time span. I'll tell you this, guys. I am very excited about this postseason, the championship weekend this season, and bowl season. This is going to be my best yet. By this evening, I will have posted several college and pro football big game releases for the weekend over at Sports Memo. And just between us, shh, don't tell anybody. I'm going to have at least one 5% play and maybe even another 10% release for you. As far as tonight goes, guys, I'm not here to give you action. I'm here to give you winners. I passed on the board tonight. If I'm not betting, I will never ask you to bet. I did post the MAC championship game already for tomorrow, but I will tell you, go over to Sports Memo. By Friday night, I'll have a slew of college and pro football winners for you. And I got to tell you, the college basketball card for Saturday, oh my goodness. It's like a fat guy at a buffet in Vegas. I just don't know where to start. It's going to be wonderful. As far as my best bet for the show today, and I'm going to get it right now, my friends. You know, guys, sports betting isn't about who wins. It's about who covers. And right now, no team is running as hot against the spread as the Detroit Lions. Detroit has covered 4 consecutive contests. Meanwhile, they've also won 3 of the last 4. And to be honest, they had the Buffalo Bills on the ropes the entire game last week. The Lions are without question a much improved team right now from the start of the season, and they're getting better with each passing week. You know what, folks? They're getting healthier too. They should see the return of several key cogs in the wheel on both the offensive and defensive squads this week. Going to make them even tougher. Lots of headlines this past week surrounding the Jaguars are all about who? Trevor Lawrence orchestrating a game-winning drive last week against the Ravens. But in all sincerity, their defense was steamrolled the entire game. And I think we would all agree. We've watched Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens blow a lot of leads this season. You don't believe me? Go check it out. At least 4 big game leads they've blown already. And what can you say? Jaguars are in the right place at the right time. Now, I know both defenses here rank among the worst in the NFL. However, running back Jamal Williams has very quietly tallied over 13 touchdowns on the ground. Wide receiver DeAndre Swift, guys, he's back at 100% healthy again. Having both of these guys full throttle this week will allow quarterback Jared Goff some time to do what we were used to seeing him, what he was doing over the several years, and that's picking defenses apart. Let's not forget Detroit has an extra few days to rest, heal, and prepare. And Dan Campbell, he's proven to be a pretty sharp guy. Jacksonville, 1-1-7 ATS the last 9 games played on the road. 0-7 ATS the last 7 games played in the month of December. 2-7 ATS the last 9 versus teams with a losing record, and 5-13-1 ATS the last 19 overall. On the flip side, let's go Detroit. Guys, they are money to us bettors. 8-2 ATS the last 10 at home. 5-1 ATS the last 6 games played following and against the spread win. 5-2 ATS the last 7 home games played versus teams with a losing road record. 15-7 ATS the last 22 played on field turf. Take the Lions here. Guys, you know, they opened up a small dog just before game time. They went to pick them. It's okay. I don't mind it. I think they beat this team by a minimum of 4 to 7 points. I love this game. I love this game. Take the Lions and take your bookmakers' money. Let's keep the train rolling on the best bet segment. You know, Dionne D'Amico does a lot of content for Sports Mental TV. She does the First Family Show. She does the Family Affairs Show. She does the College and Pro Football shows. And she has done great. And over 4 months, her free plays are documented over 80%. And I told you earlier that she's the hottest capper on the planet because she's 30 days. It's not just like in the last few days. She's been winning in NFL or NBA or NHL or NCAA basketball. She's been doing it for 30 days or more. And I believe her college basketball record right now is 6-1. She swept again last night. She's going to tell you what she's been doing. She's going to tell you what she's going to be doing on the premium side. She's got another free best bet for you. Dionne, take it away.
Thank you. As Joe did mention, I am all over the leaderboards in multiple sports, and I did go 6-1 over the season right now in college basketball with another win yesterday. And over the last couple of days, I had two 10% releases and a 5% release both come in. This weekend, I will have all of my college and pro football releases posted by tonight over at Sports Memo, and that will include at least one 5% and one 10% release in there. So this is the perfect time to go ahead and take access of all of those discounts that we do have going on. And I will also have my hockey releases and more basketball releases posted tomorrow and on Sunday. And this is the perfect time to go ahead and take advantage of that discount that I have going on right now for my NHL season straight through the Stanley Cup for $200 off by using code Dionne D'Amico upon checkout. And today for my best bet, I would like to talk about the Jets-Vikings matchup. You know, nobody is giving New York any respect whatsoever. But this team sits at 7-4, which is good enough to be tied for the 4th best overall record in the AFC. Because no one has given them any respect, they are still being undervalued. Guys, they are also 7-4 against the spread this season. Now, I'm not looking to take anything away from Minnesota Vikings, which owns one of the best records in the NFC at 9-2. But in my opinion, this has been one of the luckiest teams this season. Not only that, but they are just 5-1 against the spread. They are being overvalued here. The Vikings rank dead last in the NFL against the pass. Well, newly named starting Jets quarterback Mike White comes off an amazing performance last week, passing for 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Look for him to put up some stellar numbers once again here. And being that Minnesota's so bad against the pass, this will allow New York to open up their running game and also move the chains on the ground. Defensively, the Jets, believe it or not, ranks 5th in the league, allowing just 17.8 points per game. They're equally good against the pass as well as the rush. And speaking of the rush, Minnesota has very little running game to threaten the New York defense. They rely upon the pass, and this does not bode well with Kirk Cousins, as the Jets rank 7th in the NFL at defending the pass. I personally think you're going to see the Vikings come in here overconfident and get exploited by the hungrier Jets. New York is 4-1 ATS the last 5 on the road, 7-3 the ATS the last 10 in December, and 6-2 ATS the last 8 overall. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Jets as my best bet for this week.
First Lady of Las Vegas, the hottest capper on the planet. Multiple sports. Let's take the Jets. Great minds think alike. Her and Ralph both on different segments like the Jets. Guys, I'm going to run down all the games we had. Then I'm going to get some closing thoughts and comments from all of our panel. Then we're going to get on out of here so you can take advantage of all these free winners you got from Dionne, Jeff, Ralph, and myself on our Underdog Moneyline Parlay segment. Ralph said the Jets plus 135. Dionne said Ohio Bobcats plus 130. Jeff said the Dolphins are going to go swimming plus 170. Joe D says the Giants. It's the New York state of mind for Joe and Jeff on the Underdog Moneyline Parlay. $100 wager will bring you back over $3,037.60 on our best bet segment, my friends. Wow. Guys, I got to tell you, I can't disagree with that single one of these plays. Ralph said USC, Utah, go over, man. They're going to change the light bulbs on the scoreboard out of Legion after this game is done. Dionne says the New York Jets plus the points. Jeff said he likes that matchup here in Vegas. USC minus the 2.5. They're going to make a run at the national title. And Joe D says the Detroit Lions. Let me get some closing thoughts and comments from our panel real quick. Head on out of here. Dionne, take it away.
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that has tuned in to the Family Affair for the full season. We appreciate everything. And for you guys, tuning in every week, for our Underdog Moneyline bets and our best bets. Look forward to all of the other shows that this crew will be doing in the future, and make sure that you tune in the rest of the week for some more amazing content from both Sports Memo TV and Wager Talk TV. And good luck to everybody out there this weekend. Firstly, in Las Vegas, Jeff Michaels, closing thoughts and comments, please.
Yeah, guys, make sure you go follow us on Twitter and go grab those all access. Just because this show's putting a pause for a little while doesn't mean we are. So plenty of great info out there on social media, plenty of great plays out there, obviously, over on the Sports Memo and Wager Talk sites. So make sure you follow us, grab those all access passes, and you'll find us all on other shows throughout Sports Memo and Wager Talk. So make sure you continue to tune in.
Gotta love Jeff Michaels. Ralph Michaels, closing thoughts and comments, please.
We're out of Thanksgiving, and thank you guys for all watching. And again, have a great bowl and holiday season. Many great shows, a lot of free plays available on all our sites. Follow me at CalSportsLV on Twitter, and check out my homepage. Many free plays loaded. Always a free play every day. WT.buzz/RM.
And my friend, for me personally, I want to say something to our panel, to Dionne, to Jeff, to Ralph. It has been a true honor sharing this panel and making sports betting history with you guys this season. Getting a little choked up, but I had a lot of fun, and I look to do it again next season. I look forward to doing more Sports Memo Wager Talk TV content with all of you. And to everybody out there, thank you for tuning in. Guys, this was the Family Affair Show. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to catch all the amazing Sports Memo TV and Wager Talk content on behalf of the family. Sports Memo Wager Talk. Everyone out there, good luck and have a winning day.